Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a horse. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. To draw the circle, first make two small marks to indicate the circle's length, and then on the sides make two more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then connect the marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. Sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video to draw at your own pace. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're having trouble drawing it, just trace the outer edge of a coin, a bottle cap, or anything else with a circular edge. To the right, draw another circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle too. Make this circle slightly smaller. Don't place the circles too far apart or the body will be too long. On the top left side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. Use the 4 marks method to draw this circle as well. Make this circle about 1/4 the size of the first circle. Pay attention to the placement of the head circle in relation to the first circle. On the bottom left side of the head, make a small mark for the first part of the muzzle. Connect the small mark to the head using curved lines to finish the guide for the muzzle. This guide should be similar to an upside-down arc. The arc should be big in relation to the head. Draw a sloping line across the entire head as a construction guide to help you place the facial features. On top of the head, draw a tall arc as a guide for the ear. Under the first circle, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. At the bottom, bend the line to the left as a guide for the hoof. This line should be long in relation to the circle. To the left, draw an angled line as a guide for the other front leg. Bend the line in the middle to indicate a joint. This leg will be raised as the horse steps forward. Under the circle on the right, draw another long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. Bend this line a couple of times near the middle to indicate the joints. The middle section should slope to the right. To the left, draw another angled line as a guide for the other hind leg. Bend this line a couple of times to indicate the joints. Connect the head to the body using sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. The shape of the neck should be wide. The bottom part of the neck should be wider than the top part. Connect the first 2 circles using horizontal lines to finish the guide for the torso. Curve the lines slightly. On the right side of the body, draw a long curved line as a guide for the tail. This line should curve downward. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Inside the head, lightly sketch a small circle for the eye. Place the eye on top of the sloping line and close to the top edge of the muzzle. When you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape. Use the sloping line to darken the top edge of the eye. The rest of the eye should be curved. Draw another line on top of the eye for the eyelid. Draw a small pointy shape on the left side for the corner of the eye. Draw a curved line under the eye for a crease. Inside the eye, draw a tiny oval and shade it in for the pupil. Use the initial arc as a guide to draw the muzzle. Follow the basic path of the arc as you draw the shape of the muzzle. Near the bottom, curve the line to the right to create the mouth. Sketch lightly at first and only darken the mouth when you get the shape right. Don't make the mouth too long. Draw a short curved line under the mouth for the lip. Draw another curved line at the bottom for the chin. Inside the muzzle, draw a couple of curved lines for the nostril. The shape of the nostril should be similar to a flat oval. Draw a couple more lines around the nostril for creases. Use the arc on top of the head as a guide to draw the ear. Draw a curved line at the top for the curvature of the ear. Make the shape of the ear more curved than the initial guide. To the left of the ear, draw the front part of the mane called the forelock. Draw the forelock as a big wavy shape. Use a series of long curved lines for the bottom part of the forelock. Use the other shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the head. Darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the head. At the bottom, draw a long curved line for the jaw. Follow the path of the initial circle as you draw this line. Draw a few more lines within the head to give the shape structure. On top of the head, draw a thin pointy shape for the other ear. Use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. At the bottom, bend the shape to the left to create the hoof. The bottom of the hoof should be flat. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Make the shape of the leg white at the top and gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. The top of the leg should be inside the body. As you darken the shape of the leg, use curved lines to create the joints and muscles. Draw a round shape near the middle of the leg for a joint. Draw a curved shape above the hoof for the joint. At the bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. Use the line on the left as a guide to draw the other front leg. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. Bend the middle part of the shape to create the joint. When you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. Make the leg slightly wider at the top. Draw a curved shape where the leg bends for the joint. The bottom of the foot should be raised as the horse steps forward. Add a curved shape just above the hoof for another joint. At the bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. Use the angled line on the far right side as a guide to draw the hind leg. Just like with the front legs, first lightly sketch the shape of the hind leg around the guideline. Make the top of the leg wide and then gradually make it thinner toward the bottom. Curve the shape of the leg around the guide to create the joint. When you get the shape of the hind leg right, darken the lines. The top of the hind leg should be wider than the top of the front leg. At the bottom, keep the edges of the leg close to the guideline so that the shape is thin. At the very bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. The bottom of the leg should be raised because the horse is stepping forward. Use the line to the left as a guide to draw the other hind leg the same way. Lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guide and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Make the top of the shape wider than the bottom. Draw a small square-like shape at the bottom for the hoof. Above the hoof, draw a small circular shape for the joint. Darken the top part of the neck for the first part of the mane. Use wavy lines as you darken this line. Inside the neck, draw a series of small spiky shapes for the tips of the mane. Don't draw every individual hair strand, just draw the overall shape of the mane. Use the remaining shapes and lines as guides to draw the rest of the body. Simply darken the outer edges of the guides to create the shape of the body. Don't overlap the legs that are on this side of the body as you draw the underside. Use the line on the right as a guide to draw the tail. Darken the line and draw more curved lines at the bottom to make the shape of the tail thick. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. The next few steps are sped up so that the video isn't too long. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. Don't ink the initial guidelines, only the final drawing. When the ink dries, erase all of the guidelines. Now color your drawing. Horses can have a variety of coat patterns and colors, so you can color your drawing however you'd like. For this look, draw a pattern all over the body using brown. Draw the outlines of the pattern however you'd like across the body. Fill in the pattern using different shades of brown. Color lightly at first and gradually build up to darker colors. For a light shade of a color, push down very lightly on your pencil, then push down harder for a darker shade. Use dark brown to create shadows on the pattern. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Pick a light source as you color so that the shadows are consistent throughout the body. Here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the underside of the shapes. Use light brown to create highlights on the pattern. Slowly and gradually blend all the colors together. Push down slightly harder on your pencils to blend the colors together. For an easier drawing, just use one shade of brown instead of blending multiple shades together. You can add more or fewer sections of brown if you'd like. Color slowly and evenly for a smooth texture on the coat. Add shadows to the white sections of the body using gray and a bit of brown. Don't overlap the brown pattern as you add the shadows to the white section. Use different shades of brown to color the mane and tail. Use light brown on a few sections of the mane and tail for highlights. As you color the mane and tail, use strokes that go in the direction of the hair. Add a cast shadow at the bottom using gray and a bit of blue. Coloring can be time-consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the horse. Don't forget to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com where every step of this tutorial is broken down into an individual image. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.